So this week I want to focus on just nighttime conversations, just doing some reflection. It's at the end of the year, and I plan to just record this week, and then after this week, I'm going to be off, logging off for the rest of the year to get my mind together so I can be focused on what I want to accomplish on next year. So I hope y'all are doing well, doing great. It's the holidays. I'm happy about it because I'll be able to go travel, see my family. I have my gifts ready, so I'm just excited to just get out the house and travel because I work from home. And sometimes, it can be a good thing and a bad thing because it's like you're just locked up in the house. And I know I could go out and go places, but when you have like your workload getting piled up, especially, for some people they know it's the end of the year, so everybody trying to get everything in. So I'm trying to just focus on that. And when I'm done with that, I get to log off and ready to travel, have fun, and just really relax. So I just want to leave like some wisdom, little gems, and just some conversation. So I have been thinking just a lot about how I want to approach next year and what I want to get into, especially some things that have occurred in my career, in my personal life, and trying to get back on track, which I have shared on here. And I thought about just what it means to really just be excellent. And I know we have black excellence, you have woman excellence, and just as a person, being excellent. And I have my own perception about each one of those things I named. But for me, where I want to be in my life is to just meet the standard that God placed on my life. Because see, there's a difference in just trying to be like the person that's accepted by culture versus the person that actually being excellent with their life, being excellent with the things that has been given to them, and actually living to the standard that God placed on their life. They're actually living out how they were created and how they were designed by God. And that's what, my belief is because just trying to live up to everybody's standards and what the culture wants, what society wants, because they can change from day to day. And you know how people are, you know how we are. We change like the weather. We'll be good today, we'll be sad the next day. They'll praise you on social media one day, the next day it's tearing you down. So you know how that is. So I'd rather live my life to according to something that's more solid and more grounded because when I think about my own ideas. I say that. When I think about my own ideas and plans to have my life, they're not as big as what God wants. And of course, in our mind, of course, we have all these imaginations and, big ideas, desires. When you really think about God's plan, that's it outdoes what we want in life. It outdoes everything. It trumps everything. And I do understand also how you can get in this place where you do doubt yourself. Because I feel like, toward this industry, I feel like, fall into that place where, what, just give up on that dream that you have. Just fall in line like everybody else, climb the corporate ladder like everybody else. But I know that's really not my desire. Like for me, I do want to start my own business. That's really more in me because I got my MBA and I got it for a reason because I have that traits, of being my own, business owner, creating my own things. And I know that takes time, that takes work, which I'm willing to put the work into doing. But I also have to make sure on the inside that I'm good and not looking at past failures and thinking that, since you didn't make it in this area or in this industry, then you may not make it in the next one or what you want to do. And those are just all lies because you can get back up. You can start over and you can do better than what you have done before. And yes, I also know that you will have people that will tell you what cannot be done because I do think that we tend to advise people based off our experiences and not really off true wisdom. Now, yes, experience is good, and yes, I do like to talk about things I've been through because I like to be lessons for other people. I like people to learn from mistakes that I have went through, but I also know that it's good to have wisdom and wise counsel because wise counsel allows you to get in a place that you need to be and also help you avoid those pitfalls. Because yes, I understand that, experience can be a teacher, but sometimes we don't need to go through certain things just to learn a lesson. That it's best to learn how to stay away from things and learn how to stay away from certain traps. And that's where wisdom comes in to keep you from things, to keep from falling those places. So when I think about excellence, I think about putting your all into what you have been given. And yes, of course, I am a black woman. I'm a black person. But I think sometimes that can be like a barrier sometimes because you think that you have to be on guard or on your best. Well, you're supposed to be on your best. Be on your best game. I say that because I tell my son that being a black person, you do need to be on your best game. You don't need to live a life of just I'm just gonna struggle and do this and do that. No, do your best. Pull out that potential side of you. Don't just settle for less because of past history or because of past experiences. And I do understand sometimes that does hurt when you meet people that really still look at you just based off how you look. Not getting to know you, not trying to understand who you are. And yes, I have experienced it in my own community, with other black people. But you know, it's not a barrier. And if you're not black, your skin color should never be a barrier. Even being a woman, it doesn't make me weak because I'm a woman, you know. And I thank God for making me as a woman. I thank God for the skin color He put me in because He has a purpose behind all of that. And that's nothing I should be ashamed of. I should really use some more to my advantage. I know as a woman, we have a certain way of thinking, a certain way of processing things, and that could really be used for good. And that also helped me to bring my writing out because I do like to connect with people and connect from the heart instead of just putting things out there. I rather connect with the heart. So excellence for me is really living up to God's standard and really encouraging myself to go after that, to not settle for less, to not shy away from what He has given me. And also want to add this too, that just because you haven't put it down the past or maybe you have made people have made you feel, small, made you feel appreciated, does not mean that's who you are. That's something you have to learn to overcome. That's something each person on this earth have to learn how to overcome. We have to learn how to overcome being in those spaces in that community where you are made to feel less than. Still rise above. Because speaking from experience, I know I've held myself back because of how when I was thinking about how people felt about me around me. And if someone else down my skills, then yes, I'll down my skills. And like, no, that's not the best way to do it. Still shine, still go above, still max out your potential. Don't just settle for like, I'm just gonna do less than because this person think this way. It no, don't follow that path because they have a life to live like you have a life to live. And I don't want to live with no regrets. I don't want to live with any regrets. And also make sure you keep your mind together too as well because I struggle with people with trying to put me down and I also struggle putting myself down and not believing myself and not trying to encourage myself to reach that goal. Because that's another thing. Even if everybody around you support you, if you don't support you, then nothing you do is gonna really come from really gonna result into nothing. Well, let me repeat that. Nothing that you do is really going to last. It's not gonna really turn to anything because you don't really think that about it. You don't think that about yourself, so you have to prepare yourself. You have to think the right way about your life and what you've been given, and don't allow comparison just get in. So it's like a little short talk, something I have been thinking more about, and it's more things I want to discuss this week before I log off for the year and come back strong, because I plan to redo some things. More just trying to amp up some things and really set myself up to talk about things I want to talk about and just put myself out there. That's how it's gonna be. Just real truth, wisdom. We're gonna have fun next year. So okay.